From the Office of Institutional Advancement and Alumni Relations, this is Xavier Gold Live, the podcast highlighting stories of leadership, impact, and the Xavier spirit.
Welcome to Xavier Gold Live, your front row seat to the stories of Xavier alumni transforming passion into purpose. I'm Jamya Stewart, a psychology major exploring the world of mass communication as my minor, hailing from the great city of Chicago, Illinois.
And I'm Amaya Sanford, a proud mass communication major from the Atlanta, Georgia. Together, we're committed to uncovering the stories, legacies, and lived experiences that continue to shape Xavier University. On this episode, we welcome Dr. Lauren A. Day-Page, a dedicated clinical pharmacist, public health leader, and proud Xavierite whose career is a testament to service, excellence, and impact. A specialist in geriatrics and palliative care at the VA, she brings compassion to veteran care while mentoring future healthcare professionals and leading national pharmacy initiatives. Beyond the clinic, Dr. Day-Page helped charter the Jackson Metro Alumni Chapter, spearheading transformative community outreach from supporting youth education to hosting service events that uplift families. Through every role she holds, she lives Xavier's mission with purpose, heart, and unwavering commitment.
Dr. Lauren A. Day-Page, a proud Xavierite, clinical pharmacist, public health champion, and advocate for underserved communities. A graduate of Xavier's College of Pharmacy and an Albert Schweitzer Fellow, Dr. Day-Page was honored with the U.S. Public Health Services Excellence in Public Health Pharmacy Practice Award for her work expanding access to care in New Orleans. Currently serving as a clinical pharmacy practitioner in geriatrics and palliative care at the VA's G.V. Sonny Montgomery Medical Center, she also trains pharmacists nationwide and leads quality improvement initiatives for veterans' health. A fierce community builder, she helped formally charter the Jackson Metro Area Alumni Chapter, leading initiatives that support Catholic education, promote STEAM access, and serve vulnerable populations through holiday outreach and college prep. An educator, mentor, and soror of Delta Sigma Theta, Dr. Day-Page continues to live out Xavier's mission of service, excellence, and empowerment, all while balancing roles as a wife, mother, and advocate for health equity.
Jam, do you realize what's coming up?
Oh, I know. This isn't just any homecoming. This is 100 years of Xavier University of Louisiana.
A whole century of excellence, leadership, and culture coming together in one historic celebration.
From November 4th through the 9th, the yard, the city, and the Xavier community will all be alive with that centennial energy.
We're talking panels, concerts, step shows, fashion shows, and alumni from all over returning home.
It's more than just events. It's about honoring the past, living in the present, and building the future of Xavier.
And yes, of course, there's a basketball game too, against our crosstown rivals, Dillard. You know that's always a highlight.
But that week and that day, it's bigger than just one game. It's a celebration of 100 years of Black excellence in the Xavier legacy.
So, if you've ever been a part of this Xavier family, or if you just want to witness history, this is your moment.
Centennial Homecoming, November 4th through the 9th. 1 week, one legacy, one Xavier. Dr. Page, welcome to the podcast. So we're going to just jump right in and ask, what inspired you to specialize in geriatrics and palliative care, and was this passion sparked during your time at Xavier?
So that's a really interesting question, actually. My initial plans with pharmacy were actually just to streamline straight into administration. It was actually when I started working in the field where I realized I really enjoy the old people. Mm-hmm. And I hate to call them old people, but they are just like they're kids. I can't stand to see a child sick, so why not take care of the adult babies? Mm-hmm. They have the most wisdom to share. I've learned some of my best practices, learned to listen to my patients by taking care of the geriatric population. And then personally, after my father transitioned from cancer, taking care of him sparked my interest with hospice and palliative care. And really expounded on that through my experiences at Xavier, because we had such a variety of things that we had access to at the time, as far as rotations, as well as our professors and some of the opportunities they afforded us, like the Albert Schweitzer Fellowship and the cohort within the New Orleans community that I developed at that time. So, I mean, yes, Xavier really was the foundation for the beginning of my career.
Yeah, and Xavier helps you find that, really. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. And you wear so many hats in clinical, academic, and administrative spaces. So how do you balance technical expertise with empathy with patient care?
So it's funny you asked that. One of the courses that I assist with teaching in the fall at the University of Mississippi School of Pharmacy is professional development, but specifically compassion fatigue, because I deal with this every day. There are days where I'm walking into a room and we are helping a family to cope with the transition of a loved one, or I'm walking into a room and someone is actively transitioning, and this is what I see every day. So one of the things that I do is just spiritual faith, and that's one thing that Xavier always, reminds us of. We have chapel every day, that we have church on Sundays, and keeping myself sound, but also too understanding that like there's a cutoff. So if my day ends at 4:00, my day really ends at 4:00, but then I need a time to decompress. So sometimes taking a walk, or we do it here and we don't even think about it. When we're done with classes for the day, you just want to stop, right? And you want to come and you want to eat dinner. You kind of want to hang out with your friends. It's the same mojo. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna walk around at the mall. I'm not buying anything. I just want to walk, be by myself, and then I'm gonna do what needs to be done. But that time to decompress before you go into family life, because I'm a wife and I'm a mother, so they need my attention. But I think just taking the time to, number one, deflect, decompress, and also to make sure that you don't take it home with you, and you cannot get too close to your patients. That is one thing I try to teach the students at Ole Miss. You cannot get too close, because then you start to own it, and then if something happens, you take additional accountability that you really can't afford to take.
That's good. I'm so glad that you touched on that, and working with people who are also going into touching on the pipeline, because you served as the academic coordinator for pharmacy services, professional pharmacy services. So how are you helping to change that pipeline for pharmacy technicians in underserved communities? Because I know they might not have the resources or the people to really show them the way. So how are you helping with that?
So with professional pharmacy services, the goal was for us to target high school students that might not be college bound. Everyone is not college bound, right? So that's the first part of it, making sure that they have a sustainable career, because you can be a pharmacy technician and make a decent earning and then have benefits, which is, something that is actually, admirable, and you can own it. That's an active license. But then taking it a step further, those kids don't know what pharmacy entails. They only see the pharmacy technician at Walgreens, Walmart, all the retail pharmacies. So we bring in pharmacists or different people within healthcare to expose them to what they can do, but we don't know that guest speaker might inspire someone in that class to do something greater. It might not be in healthcare, but just expand their mind to ensure that they have a plan, and then we make it easy. You don't have to pay for it. We make sure you have a job afterwards. We help you with the paperwork to actually get certified, and making it easy, and them seeing someone my age or our age going in and helping them, it makes it seem attainable, right? It makes it seem doable. And then what do? They go and pay it forward, because everybody says it. Everybody follows at some point. So if you have a batch of friends and you say, hey, this person is doing this. Okay, well, how did you do that? And then you start sharing, and then it just starts to build that pipeline. It's the same thing we do here at Xavier. We come back as alum for homecoming. Yeah, we have fun, but we're making connections, right? Because we do not know what spaces everyone is in, but that one connection can take you in a whole different direction. Yeah, so it's the same thing. You just want them to be empowered and inspired, and giving those kids opportunities that they thought that they never had is probably the most rewarding thing. Even if it's just 2 that are successful with passing the test, that's 2 more people that will not be sitting at home with just a high school diploma with nothing to look forward to. If they do need to start a family or whatever, they have the resources to at least minimally take care of their families in this economy.
Yeah, and I feel like that's so important. I feel like a lot of times we don't know what entails outside of college.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so important having alumni or even other people just there to guide you and at least tell you the things that Xavier doesn't tell you, you know? And like I said, you do wear a lot of hats. So how do you balance being a clinician, educator, mentor, community builder, wife, and mom? And a lot of times I ask people, like, how do you, especially as a Black female, how do you decide, like, you know, when to start your family, when you have your career going on? Because, you know, nobody wants to be away from their babies. I feel like that's a big, like, question a lot of people don't ask.
So that is so funny. that is a question for you. One thing I will say is you live and you learn. One thing my dad told me was to live your life. So when I graduated from pharmacy school, he said, live your life, do what you want to do. And I did that. And then he told me, he was like, I didn't tell you to do all of that. But what I do, I took trips probably once a month.
You're not wrong.
I was out of the country.
After Xavier, it's like,
yeah.
maybe I need to go see the world.
And so we didn't go out of the country. Then, you just go to a different state that you haven't been to, go to some conferences here or there, but you have a good time. Then when it was time for me to do the things, like I got married, me and my husband, then we enjoyed each other. Like everything is in increments. It wasn't a science to it, like, I'm going to do this in 2 years.
Yeah.
It was just like, it felt right. Okay, it's time for us to get married. Cool. It feels right. Let's go ahead and have a baby. And then my son, he has congenital heart defects, and, that's not the, ideal motherhood that someone envisions. You want a well child that you don't want to see suffering. But he taught me boundaries. And he also taught me that I can't control everything. And see, I didn't know that he was going to teach me that while I was enduring, but that is how I can juggle all those things. I delegate, and I know how to say no. If I cannot do it, I'm just not going to do it.
You know what I'm saying? No is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence.
No is a complete
But also
sentence.
too, how can I be a leader and I don't tap in on the talent around me?
Yeah.
My secretary, my treasurer, the people that work with me on the Xavier side and on the Jackson alum side, they're awesome. I thought I knew how to work Canva. My secretary is a beast. Or like with Delta, I sat at the finance table. I think I can count some coins, but there are people that they get paid to do this.
Yeah.
Let them do that in their own right. Yeah. And then you help out where you can, but I'm a better organizer, initiator. I'm creative. I can put the idea out there, and then I can help you follow through to get it executed. I know that that's my talent. So once you tap in, you also help other people, though, to tap into their talent. I think yesterday we did the reel, and they were like, what does leadership mean to you? It really means empowering others to be great in your own regard, because we all can do great things. I just want to see people smiling, and I want them to feel fulfilled. That's how you can juggle it all. But saying no, that's a biggie.
That's a complete.
I hear that. I'm glad you said that, and I feel like allowing people to help you, like allowing help. Yes.
I was bad about that, but when my son got sick, my sorority sisters came. Blink of an eye, they were dropping food off at that hospital. We were there for like 60 days, and they took care of everything for me. I don't have to ask, because they know I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna say anything. But when you do good and you put good out there, it's gonna come back to you tenfold.
You know, Amaya, homecoming is finally upon us. I can see it now. The second lines, the parties, the catching up. But at the heart of it, this is a moment for alumni to give back in a very special way.
Exactly. That's why this year, Xavier is participating in the Homecoming Challenge. Xavierites, this is your chance to do more than just show up. It's a chance to pour into the students who are walking the same path you once did.
Just think about it now. You go, you knock on your old dorm room door, you look that student in the eye and say, I've been right where you are. That interaction alone will have a lasting impact.
And that's what we're asking Xavierites to do. Give your time, your advice, your resources, because your story can change a student's story.
And what better time than now? It's Xavier's centennial, 100 years of legacy, and it's our responsibility to carry that forward.
So alumni, step up, connect, and make an impact during our centennial homecoming.
To register and learn more information about making your biggest gift yet, visit xavierproud.com/thegreatgiveback. And as always, check the show notes, because you know we got the hookup.
Alright, so after looking into your profession, the major influence that you've had not only on campus but beyond campus, we want to take a little blast from the past and relive your experience. The year is 2012. Jay-Z, Kanye West, Kid Cudi, they're at the top of the charts. Beyonce just dropped her Blue Ivy pictures. What was Xavier in New Orleans like at that time from your best recollection?
You know, it was actually really fun at that time because I actually started undergrad the year after Katrina. So it was bare bones, nothing. So in 2012, when I'm in pharmacy school, I was like, oh, this is the uprising. This is the New Orleans that people were, yeah, you know, and it was the newly reimagined New Orleans, right? Because they said that pre-Katrina is not the same as post-Katrina, but I actually saw the city rebuild. So it's totally different. I saw the transition of Norman C. Francis to President Verrett. You know, like I saw those things, and those are like humongous changes. Like I saw when he was trying to make the decision, and then like seeing now the end result. There's just so many things happening. That's when like I got accepted into my fellowship. I didn't know what I was doing, but I mean, you're just trying things. But it was fun. It was. Yeah, we had a good time.
Y'all had a good time.
We had a good time.
And you were a part of a lot of things on campus. Like, what role did that play into shaping you into what you do today and how you go about life today?
Practice. Because people think that when I'm in these professional organizations that I'm just like this whiz kid that knows everything. That's not how that happened. Xavier let me like fail, let me try.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, no, don't do it this way, do it this way. You see agendas, you see budgets, you see how to conduct business, you know how to follow chain of command. So when I was Miss College of Pharmacy, we have to fundraise to host our pharmacy ball because it's not in the budget, right? So I had the right idea to bring Chick-fil-A on campus every Wednesday. First person to ever do it. It spiraled out of control. That's why we have Chick-fil-A downstairs. But to that point, like, it was a big deal because I had to follow chain of command because I think we had to send it up to like Office of Student Affairs because they wanted to make sure that it didn't like break a contract with like Sodexo at the time. It wasn't gonna cause any barriers there, and it didn't. And I sat on pins and needles for about 2 weeks. Are they gonna approve this? They said yeah. We went from having it every Wednesday. I think the next Miss College of Pharmacy like had it, and then after that it turned into like a two times a week thing, and then after that it was like, hey, we're gonna get Chick-fil-A. I was like, y'all getting Chick-fil-A on campus without me?
Crazy. I'm glad to know where this all kind of stemmed from.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So can you share a moment from like a specific moment besides the one you just shared from your time on campus, big or small, that still motivates you to keep going even when the work, either at home, at work, when it gets hard and when it gets challenging?
So Xavier, when I say takes care of you, they take care of you. I woke up one day and I was completely blind in my right eye and I did not know what happened or what was going on, and I was in the middle of applying for pharmacy school. I thought I was about to be a big shot Delta, and all of that stopped, because I was like, what are we doing? And then I'm from Houston, so I'm away from home, away from my parents. Xavier immediately, I'm talking about maybe in a week, they made sure that all of my books were converted to audio. They would drive me. I didn't have a vehicle. I was still undergrad on campus, again, out of state. They would drive me to LSU to see the doctor once a week. My eyes were dilated. I would be in drill, could barely see with sunglasses on.
Oh my God.
Taking tests, taking quizzes. I had the extra time, the accommodations. Yeah, I had to stay an extra year, but that kept me going.
Yeah.
And they didn't say, like, nobody ever said, you cannot do this. Everything was just, okay, let's get you this. Is this okay for you? Is that working? Okay. if this is not working, let's see what we can do. So they taught me how to pivot. They taught me how to stay calm under pressure. And they taught me that anything is possible, because after 8 months, my vision came back. I didn't know that it was gonna come back. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, because the doctors were telling me, we don't know what to tell you. So I'm like, is my career over? Should I change what I'm doing?
How do you pivot from that?
What do you do? But nobody ever told me no. Nobody ever told me no. They just took care of me. So if you don't know what perseverance means, I know I do. But if you don't know what perseverance means with support, you have not had the Xavier experience. Because that's what this university does. Whether it's your classmates, your lifelong friends that you develop, professors, or anybody on this campus, that's why I'm dedicated to making sure that anyone from Mississippi that knows that I went to Xavier, if that's where you want to go, we're going to get you there. We're going to get you there.
Oh, I love that. I would love to be in Mississippi.
Okay.
Like,
holding it down here.
You are. You sound so like such a good like mentor to have as someone that would want to go to Xavier.
And you're still young, so it's like, I know seeing that, they know that like, she did it, so I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it, because I think seeing it from the older alum, it's kind of like, okay, bro, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that. What happened 10 years ago? Like, show me, be the proof, be the living proof of it, for sure.
Yeah, and you're really living a testimony, like blind in one eye. That's not. That would have happened to me. I would have
Home,
called my
Chicago.
mom. Literally, I would have called my mom frantic. Oh my God, what are we doing now?
But speaking to that, and speaking to your experience being a Xavierite, what does it mean to you to be a Xavierite? How do you carry that with you after?
It literally is, to me, it's like being a child of God. You know that you're gonna make mistakes, you know that you're not perfect, but a Xavierite's best foot forward is about 10 steps ahead of our colleagues in any regard. It's not just healthcare. In anybody that has a Xavier degree, we're already 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And I think that people see it in everything that we do, and it embodies you. I hate to say it, but even in the Mississippi area, most people can pinpoint a Xavier pharmacist versus an August pharmacist. And it's just, we just practice different, we walk different, we talk different. You know, there are different experiences that have cultivated us into who we are. But really and truly, I mean, we are a legacy of excellence, and that's what it is. I mean, we just carry ourselves different. I mean, we just do it differently. I mean, nobody can do it like us.
Everybody says that. I can't wait to like get out of here and then live that.
Like, yes, you went to Xavier,
graduated.
It overcomes you when you walk across that stage. I was so timid and mild and doing these things. Like, I mean, I was the person crying at home, doing Easter speeches, like when I was in middle school and high school. So when I got on campus and I was doing all this stuff and I was like, oh yeah, I'm second maid to Miss Sophomore. My daddy was like, what? Oh, I'm congressperson. Oh, you're doing what? You giving a speech?
Yes.
So, you know, it brings out, I mean, it was just the butterfly in me, but when you walk across the stage, that confidence comes out automatically. It's really weird. It's like it just comes out of nowhere, and people just know, like, we're those people.
I love that you said that, because like, I've only been here for 2 years, but like my experiences in the 2 years, when I can go all the way back to Chicago, they'd be like, you're doing that at Xavier?
Yes.
You're a podcast host? Like, what did you become a podcast host? Like, so it's just like, I love when y'all speak to that, because Xavier really does unlock the potential that you never would have thought that you had in a million years. Like, sitting here right now, never would have imagined that my freshman year. So going into my junior year, it's just like, you really live that experience. You feel that legacy and that mission. You walk in it.
I agree with both y'all. It really does Xavier brings it up out of y'all. Like, and you've even gone and started a chapter like in Jackson. So in chartering this chapter, you're essentially building a legacy. So what kind of impact do you hope the Jackson Metro Area chapter has on future generations of Xavierites in Mississippi?
So my little campaign slogan is it's called Go Gold, and basically it's growing our legacy daily. That's what GOLD stands for.
Ooh,
and it's because it's what we do every day. It's not a one-time thing. It's not, this event is not going to save the world and convince all of the high schoolers in Jackson to come to Xavier. It's just not going to do it. It's when I'm counseling a patient and she's telling me, oh my gosh, this was like the best counseling experience I've ever had at a pharmacy. My son is interested in pharmacy, and then I just gave him a scholarship for graduating, you know, from pharmacy school at Ole Miss. It fulfills you. It's stuff like that. I met this lady 5 years ago. I didn't know that she was gonna, or like the people that I've mentored into pharmacy, they don't necessarily go to Xavier, but they have gone to other places and they have stood out. One of my recent mentees graduated from Mercer. He was competing. He couldn't do certain rotations his P4 year because he was so competitive, because he already had job offers before he graduated. And I wrote his entrance letter into pharmacy school. I let him volunteer at the hospital that I worked at. It's what you do every day. It's not a one-time thing. And so I'm dedicated to everyone loves Xavier, but again, everyone's not gonna come here. But if you go other places, you've been touched by a Xavierite, because you're gonna stand out. You're gonna stand out.
Yes. As someone who's seen firsthand the power of community engagement, not only at Xavier, but back at home in Mississippi, how can different alumni be encouraged to reconnect and support the current students?
I think coming back and seeing it and living it and like talking to y'all, just the love that I've experienced at this conference in the past couple of days. But it's really hard to say. To me, you have to come back. You can't do it without coming back. You have to come back. It's like going home, right, for Christmas.
Yes.
You have to come back. So I would say start off with homecoming. Do something small. Just, you know, each one reach one. Like, just come back, have a good time.
Yes.
That's where it starts. And then, even then, the freshman send-offs that we do, or getting active in one of the local alum chapters, even if you're just paying your dues, that alone is helping the chapter to support students here currently in any effort. So I say whatever you can do. It does not have to be a big effort. It does not have to be spotlighted or anything like that. Just start small. Give your $10 for Give Love Xavier, whatever you feel like you need to give.
We gave our first donation.
We gave our first donation this year. It was like, oh, is this me stepping into my alumni?
But I mean, wearing a Xavier shirt, it goes a long way, because people are going to ask those questions, because the first thing they want to ask, oh, is it the one in Chicago? No, that's Xavier, and that's Chicago in a different color. Come on. But I mean, no, it's really as simple as wearing the shirt. You never know who you're going to influence. And again, we already walk around breeding excellence, so somebody's going to want to talk to us anyways.
Yeah, it happens. And that chapter love does run deep. I love all the chapters.
Yes.
You just know.
I'm so happy y'all are chartering one in Jackson, because I feel like a lot of students come from Mississippi.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason why we send all of these kids here. They're here all the time. It's such a large population.
Memphis is not far, so it's like Jackson is literally right there. Like, my family's from Grenada, and we passed through Jackson. I'm like, I know y'all know a little something about Xavier. Come on now. That was good, yeah.
Okay, it's now time for my favorite portion of the podcast. Okay, it's now time to rush our Gold guests into answering some rapid fire questions. This segment of the podcast is called the Live 5. We will ask you 5 questions we think our Gold community would love to know about you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, number 1. What's your go-to self-care ritual as a busy professional and mom?
Netflix on the go.
Fill in the blank. The Xavier legacy means
showing out.
If you could relive one moment at Xavier, what would it be?
Being crowned Miss College of Pharmacy.
One piece of advice for young women of color entering healthcare.
Pick your battles.
And the last one, leadership is
being unique.
Well, it was a pleasure connecting with you, a fellow alum, through conversation. How can our growing Gold community connect with you online?
So, I guess I have some of the socials, but of course Facebook, just Lauren Day page. Instagram is Dr. Day, DrDayDay. LinkedIn is Lauren Day page as well. I had to get off X. Too much stuff going on with the government. And what else am I on? It's something I'm missing, but it'll come back to me one day.
Well, Dr. Day-Page, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely having you on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
XU, you know what to do.
Subscribe and rate the show today and join us, the Xavier Gold Live podcast, on the first Tuesday of every month to stay up to date with all things alumni.
Follow at XULA Alumni on Instagram and subscribe to our monthly alumni newsletter.
Until next time, Xavierites.